Welcome back to the behavior management system training. My assistant needed to go, so it's just me. It's so much more enjoyable when he's with me. But we're going to have four different colors for the management system. Obviously, green means everybody is doing what they should be doing and everything's smooth sailing. When people are green, you need to let them know how proud of them you are, okay? So all when you notice that all of your campers are listening and lining up and being ready and being kind, you need to praise, praise, praise that, okay? And just go over the top and letting them know how proud of them you are. We're going to have high expectations, but we're going to also have high encouragement, high affection for our campers and expressing how pleased we are when they are doing well. Okay. So everybody's going to start on green every day. Um, but they are kids, so they're going to need coaching just like we need coaching. Perfection isn't something that we're going to have all the time. So if there is a small thing that they are not doing correct, that's when you're going to probably try to keep them on green first. Okay. So first there's a, hey, I don't know if you realize you're doing this, but you're not listening to me. Okay. So there is a short like redirection before you move a kid to yellow. So when do I move a kid to yellow? Okay, let's say I've warned them once and they're still not paying attention, or if their attitude is really bad, or they are doing something a little bit more rebellious or disruptive, especially if it comes to their hands, right? You're going to take them and let them know that, hey, you need to pause for a second and think about what you're doing because that's not either being ready or being kind with your hands or your words. Okay, so that would you would tell a kid, hey, you've moved into yellow, and I need you to take a moment, take a deep breath, think about this, and let's move back to green, get you back plugged in. Now, after that warning, if they don't calm down. If you can see they're still arguing with you, then they're going to be in yellow, but they're going to get a small timeout. Okay. So for our youngest campers, that's going to be just like a minute. A minute seems like forever for them. Um, for our older campers, it's going to be 2 minutes. Like, hey, you just need to step back, calm down, especially if they get amped up in a game or something. I just need you to reset and think about how you're supposed to be behaving right now. I know you have it in you. Coach them up. Just regroup. Take a moment. Okay. And if they can, they'll rejoin the game or the activity and be back on green. Now, if after the timeout or during the timeout, they get escalated, that's going to move them to red, where they're making really bad choices. Okay. And that's going to be a longer timeout where they're maybe missing most of the activity. So that's going to be a 10-minute max for our older kids. That's 9 to 12. And for our 5 to 8, that's 5 minutes. Okay. Um, and during that time, you need to really coach them through, like give them a couple of minutes during the timeout just to settle down and regroup. And then you need to try to have some dialogue. Hey, what choices did you make that got us here? Okay. How did this affect other people? Would you like it if so and so hit you? Help me understand how I can help you to make sure that we are safe. What will you do differently next time before we get to here? Okay. And encourage them. Remember, if anything is frustrating you or you have questions, come to me first before we get into a timeout situation. All right. If they refuse to listen during that time, they're escalated, or if at any time they are hurting themselves or others, then they'll get what's a blue light. And that's when you're going to need to use the group radio. Where is it? Sorry, I have mine in here somewhere. Oh, so radio to radio in so that either Miss Carrington or Miss Addie can come and just remove them from the situation and they will assess. Now, if we're having issues like this with an individual often, then we're going to make a summer success plan for those campers that gives you a little bit more specific guidelines for how to handle kids that just need a little bit more help. But Carrington and I will assess who those kids are and we'll go through those plans with them, but let you know who those kids are. Now, if there is an interaction that is extremely dangerous or harmful, you're going to skip levels. Okay. So let's say that a kid just punches another kid. That's a straight to blue. Okay. You're going to call Miss Carrington right away or Addie to come and you need reinforcement because we can't have kids hurting other kids. If a kid is trying to run away, that is a reason that they would go to blue immediately. Really, really bad language, kids dropping the F-bomb or calling other kids horrible names, that's straight to blue. Okay, so if you read through your handbook, it gives examples of what is just totally unacceptable, that's above what your training is for, and you will call and radio for reinforcement right away. Now, um, group wide redirections. This is like a lot of times after we have like a really big heightened thing or kids get tired at the end of the day, the whole group is out of line. Sometimes that we will need to redirect the whole group. Okay. So it's similar to the individual redirection, but we can do it for the whole group as well. Please make sure, though, it's actually the whole group and not just like two or three individuals. It gets really frustrating if you're a really good kid and there's like two kids that are misbehaving and then the whole group gets a punishment. So this needs to be like, hey, the whole group was talking, none of them were paying attention. We needed to put the whole group on yellow to regroup just for a minute. Okay. Or the whole group was, throwing sticks when they shouldn't. Might have a whole group red timeout. Okay. So that is our behavior plan. These are things that you're going to practice and get better. Carrington and I, especially those first couple of weeks, are going to be going around the property, observing different groups at different times and modeling what that looks like to you all. One thing I would encourage you, because I've been in education for just a really long time, having clear expectations is crucial. So why am I doing all these training videos? Well, you need to know what to expect, and your campers are the same way. That's why I've been trying to be very truthful and very blunt in these videos so that you know exactly what to do. Campers are the same way. Now, we need to do it in an encouraging and a positive way, but truth is key. All right. So warn the kids before we go back to the forest. Here is our boundaries. We're not going to go out of these boundaries. We're going to stay in eyesight of each other. And here's some of the behaviors that you're not allowed to do. You're not allowed to throw rocks or sticks. You're not allowed to have sword fights. You're not allowed to climb up a tree past a certain point. And you will find out what those danger points are as you go through the summer and expand the expectations. But it's a great reminder as we go into these new activities, taking the time to explain the expectations before they begin is key. All right, if you guys have questions, especially about this, come to us. We want to help coach you so that we have a great summer where campers are on green most of the time. Appreciate y'all.